Film and Video Censors Board issued a warning to filmmakers to desist from promoting and producing films that promote same-sex relationships and pornography that contravenes the Same-Sex Marriage Prohibition Act and the NFVCB Act. The Censors Board said some filmmakers and content creators produce, promote, and distribute and stream prohibited and unapproved content, especially same-sex content, on social media and other online platforms. The board also said it works with relevant security agencies to track the filmmakers and production companies involved. It will also stop at nothing to ensure that those already identified face the full wrath of the law. Of course, with us to discuss this is the Director General of the National Film and Video Censors Board, Dr. Shoaib Hussaini. Thank you so much for joining us at this point. He's joining us via Zoom in Abuja. As it is now, what informed this decision to go after producers who contravenes this law?
Oh, well, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be on your program. One of the reasons government set up the National Film and Video Censors Board is to regulate content, exhibition, and distribution in the Nigerian motion picture industry. And the Censors Board is not just in Nigeria alone. We have it everywhere, in most developed societies, in UK, South Africa, in Kenya, in Canada, in Australia, not. Although they call theirs classification board, and that's where we are also moving. The Censors Board was set up to regulate content, and our job is to ensure that the contents that you serve the consumers, are not harmful, and they are contents that are done within the limits of our law. Our law abhors, our law prohibits. There's a Same-Sex Prohibition Act 2015 that is in place. It prohibits the promotion, not just about same-sex marriage, but it prohibits the promotion and the exhibition of what is unlawful. And then our attention, because since I came in, we had this feedback channel that we set up for consumers to always get back to us to check with us which content has been classified or not. And we had this barrage of complaints about a certain film, that in fact 2 films that have been produced here with Nigerian actors, with the Nigerian producer, with the Nigerian actor, director that is online. And we did our investigation and found out that indeed these films were online. And what we did as a responsible government organization is to call attention of content creators that, look, in your freedom to express, because every time you talk, they say we have freedom of creativity. In your freedom to express yourself, you do it within the limits of the law, what the law permits. Nigeria has a law in place that says, no, you can't do this. So you do it within the limits of the law. It's the same thing when we talked about the promotion of tobacco. Nigeria has a law, National Tobacco Control Act, 2019. It's a law. So, I was listening to your analysis earlier about the spraying of money and the rest of them. It's a law that says you must not mutilate our money and the rest. So once you contravene the law, the relevant security agencies will go after you. So we did the right thing, identified the people. The security agencies have identified the people, and they will go after them. And we thought we could say, look, we are in a period where we need to be careful with the kind of content we send out to our young people. Yes. So if we can warn ourselves that in the freedom that digital space has given us, we can manage that freedom in such a way that we don't impact on another person's sensibilities, that will be fine. Our job is not to go after people, but our job is to ensure that whatever you create, you do it within the law.
Yes. Thank you very much, sir. So I wanted to ask, these producers who have contravened the law, are they going to be punished according to the law that was signed by former President Jonathan when he was in office? And I have another question also. I read the statement that your organization brought online to us, and I wanted to ask, how can filmmakers and content creators submit their creation to your organization for classification?
Okay, you know, some people just, I mean, this money mutilation stuff, a lot of people claimed ignorance that they didn't know that this law is there until this action was taken by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. And it's there, even in the CBN laws, is there. This law is not a new law. It has been there. Everybody knows that, even culturally, even as Nigerians, these things are not what you do exhibit publicly, are not what you do openly. Mm-hmm. So why do you want to go and do it? So the law exists. They know. You want to tell me that you want to do something and you don't ask questions, you don't do research. That is the purpose of research in filmmaking, in storytelling. You do your research properly and find out this is a theme that I cannot explore because of this and that. Mm-hmm. So, but they know, but some of them are claiming ignorance, and some of them is just because they want to, let me use the word blue, because they know that what is unlawful, when they do it, somebody will just go there. I mean, you need to go and see how they were promoting it, how they came on social media and were saying, if you want to see the full movie, you click to so place and you see the full movie. Mm-hmm. And we immediately reported, to that platform, and they brought it down. Why would they bring it down? Because they know that it doesn't stand with our own community standards. Mm-hmm. Why it is okay for them to have same-sex relationship outside our shores. In our country, it is against the law. Mm. It is against the law, and we are supposed to be. We are supposed to ensure that whatever we do is within the limits of our law. And our act says that kind of film is restricted. That kind of film cannot be shown. What is even interesting is that we didn't see the film, because when the security agencies asked me if we licensed the film, we said no, it wasn't submitted to us. And the law establishing the Film and Video Censors Board demands that every video work, every film that is produced in this country, that is imported to be exhibited in this country, should be classified by the board. They were formally complaining of censorship, and we said no, under this dispensation, under the Renewed Hope dispensation, we are no longer censoring films. We are classifying films. Mm. And what is the difference? The censorship is the one that tells you, go and remove this, go and do this, go and do that. The classification is the one that gives it appropriate rating so that the audience can be advised on what to see. Mm. So if, for instance, you put a film and then it is rated by the Censors Board 18, you put it online, you put it everywhere. Anyone wants to watch the film, it's a choice to watch, especially that film is meant for anyone who is above 18 years of age. So you put a film, for instance, and you say the family can sit down, everybody, boy, girl, and anyone can sit down and watch the film. But you find out too that some people, after we have given, and you are watching it with your 6-year-old daughter, and as you are watching, a content that a 6-year-old is not supposed to be exposed to just comes on. And when it comes on, you are struggling with your remote control
to change
it. Well, I mean, how can for the sake of new filmmakers and new content creators, how can they submit their I want to say creation, films or whatever, to the FVCB for you guys to classify it? Mm-hmm. Ooh, seems like network has done its thing. Are you there, sir? Mr. Shuaib?
Okay, I think the scenes and
okay, I think we're having some network glitch there, but
it's still raining.
Yeah, it's still the weather is doing its thing. But while we'll try to sort that out, we'll go to a quick break and return to discuss more with Dr. Shuaib Hussaini. Stay tuned. Shuaib Hussaini, the Director General of the National Film and Video Censors Board, via Zoom. He was talking to us about how filmmakers and content creators can classify their films with the board. Dr. Hussaini Shuaib, you're still there. Yes, now, you were giving us your response to my colleague's question.
Yes. So I was saying that we must do our best in order to help society, in order to help the consumers who are watching. You know, in other crimes, people are so enlightened that they know these things. Once they see a film that has SL, strong sex, strong language, violence, and all that, they are able to tell their young ones, they are able to tell people, oh, this is the kind of film that you shouldn't watch. These are the ratings that we are asking these people to put on their films. And the only body that was set up to handle this is the National Film and Video Censors Board. It is a requirement. Every society that wants to protect their viewing audience insists that films must be rated from UK, from Cape to Cairo. So when I see them complaining that, oh no, you don't have to go through the Censors Board, I just laugh, because some people are just, they just want to break the law. And they just want you to do something, and then they will say, oh, people are going after them. But this one we are talking about is even an unlawful content, something you should not even do at all. You should not contemplate, because there's a law in place that says you must not produce, exhibit, and promote same-sex content. Same-sex content. And then how do they classify their films? When we got on board in March, when I took over in March, I found out that we were still operating more of the analog system. So what we did with the cooperation of the Honorable Minister is to ensure that we digitize our process of classification. And I've gone to these content creators. There was a program organized by YouTube. I went there and I told them that, look, it will no longer be you going to look for our 36 state offices, our 6 zonal offices, or coming to the headquarters to classify your film. We have a platform now that we were working on that is ready. And we said with that platform, you can submit your film, get the classification, get the certificate, and then you release your film whenever you want to. They complained about the comeback time. I told them now, look, for short content, if you submit, say, at 9 o'clock in the morning, by 10 o'clock, you have your certificate back, and then you can release your film. Because I'm aware as an artist, as I'm aware as a performer, as a creator, that time is of essence, especially if you want to serve your audience. So we have taken all this, we have even made it very easier now that we are no longer censoring, but we are classifying, which is a requirement globally, that you must rate your film, you must rate your content, even musical videos, even skits. And the skits I'm talking about here are dramatized skits. Those kind of skits where you have a set, where you have costumes, where you have dialogue, where you have a theme. So all we just want to do is that if you are going to have strong language in this your skit, we indicate that this film has strong language, you know, so that when anybody is watching it, and it's for the sake of our young people, our very impressionistic viewing public, that we see these things and think that it's a lifestyle. That's why we think that this society needs help, especially now that the digital space has been democratized. You just launch on any platform, you see any kind of content, any kind. The one that we don't see now, and that's because they know that they will go against them, is to distribute porn within the country. That's the one. So, but you have it, yes, to distribute porn. That's the one we have not seen. But if we see those ones, we go against those people because it's unlawful. My job is to ensure that we do things, we create. There's freedom of expression and creation. But you don't, because you have the freedom of expression as guaranteed by the Constitution, now do something that is against the law of the land. That's all. But now they are seeing the issues. They are telling me that I'm going to arrest anybody. In fact, they've turned us to an arresting organization. And meanwhile, we're just a classification board.
Okay, so talking about classification now, is it free of charge, or is there any form of payments that a content creator will have to make? Because these are the questions that have been asked.
It is not free. There is nowhere. They can check. I mean, these people use the internet. They can check. There's no way you send your film for classification that you don't pay. Some of these content creators, when they submit their works for awards and for festivals, they know that there are some festivals that you must pay to submit. But this is not even talking about festivals and awards, because I know that terrain. And you can check South African Classification Board, Kenyan Classification Board, Morocco, all those countries, UK. You don't send your film to them and they classify for free. You have to pay, and how much is the money? Because I've been hearing that, oh, government wants to tax, government wants. These are costs that we use to carry out the process for you. And then we give you your certificate, and then you go and do whatever you want to do with your content.
Okay, so
how much is it?
All right, so for the board,
for short content, I mean, I heard your co-presenter say how much is it?
Yes,
like I'm hiding the figure. 10,000 naira. 10,000 naira.
Okay.
10,000.
10,000.
That's for short content.
For short content.
What about a feature film, a full-blown movie?
Depending on the time, like 120 minutes, 50,000 naira.
Oh.
So it's really not
a documentary.
or series.
Or a series.
Different episodes.
Those shorts, those episodes, 20,000 naira.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there, I mean, I'm sure you'll be, and they know these figures. It's on our website. We didn't hide any figure, and we didn't, in fact, when I got into office, there was a new rate that was done since 2016 that will have been implemented. I said, no, in this, under this dispensation, they are doing everything to ensure that we create the enabling environment for people to do this. So we retained the 1994, I think 2006 rating up to this moment that I'm talking to you. So it's not like you are going to pay 1 million. I've been reading so many figures, you know, on the internet, but of course I know that once something like this happens, everybody begins to look for what people can click and go. 10,000 for short content. Somebody has even come last week with a musical video. We censored it under 1 hour and gave the person the certificate. You paid on the platform, remitter platform, to government, not to us. Nobody wants to collect money. No, there's nothing like that even in the Censors board.
Okay, all right. All right. Government. Dr. Hussein Shuaibu, thank you so much for talking to us at this point.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for giving us the updates on the
insight and information.
Yeah, the information from the National Film and Video Censors Board. Thank you so much for talking to us. We'll still call you subsequently to get more of these updates. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The pleasure is mine. Thank you so much.
All right. So at this point, we have our second guest in the studio. He's a chief in his own right. Now, he's a veteran actor, an award-winning producer, film producer and director. And of course, he's a graduate of theater arts from the University of Jos. And he's here, of course, he just is about releasing a new movie titled Voltage. And so we have, ladies and gentlemen, in the studio, we have Chief Fred Amata.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for coming.
Nice to be here, really nice to be here.
Yes. So when each time I see him, I envision the younger Fred Amata.